Hey everyone, welcome to today's morning wake up class, which has a focus on our side bodies, so should feel really good. You'll be needing a bolster and a block for today's class, or you can use some cushions instead. If you haven't got a bolster, don't worry. When you're ready, we're going to get started and we're going to get straight into it. So I want you to grab your bolster and slide it onto your mat. Having it sideways, you're going to scoop those legs round to the side and bring yourself all the way down to lying on the right-hand side of your body onto the bolster. So resting your ribs onto the bolster, reaching that bottom arm out underneath so that you've got something to rest your head onto. Then you can either relax that left arm to your hip or you can stretch it overhead for a bit of a deeper stretch. So we're just taking this nice soft but yummy stretch to begin with, to start to open through those ribs, through the side of the body, nice and gently. Just taking 3 more breaths here. You can close down your eyes. Really breathe into that space. And then using those hands to help you, just walk yourself up to seated, keeping your legs in the same position that they're in. The left hand comes down to the side as you stretch your right arm over. Deep breath here, keep that chest nice and open to the side. And then push yourself back up to seated and we'll swap sides. So just twizzling those legs the other way. You're going to be lying on the left-hand side of your body this time. Making your way down nice and slowly. Reaching that bottom arm out. Have something to rest your head onto. And then stretching that other arm overhead. Again, just allowing yourself to soften here for a moment. Maybe closing down the eyes. Relaxing your jaw and your cheeks. Taking 3 more breaths. And then slowly using those hands to help you push yourself back up to seated. Keep the legs as they are. Right fingertips come down. Left arm stretches overhead. Taking a nice full breath here. And then make your way back up to seated. Sliding your bolster back to the side. And come to an all fours tabletop position on your mat. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And you're going to bring those hands round to face the right-hand side of your mat. So both fingertips facing the right-hand side. And just take a few rounds of your cat-cow movements here. So you should feel, compared to those normal cat-cows when those fingertips are facing forwards, you should feel that this variation just gives you that bit more space into the side of your body. Good, last one. Bringing yourself back to center and then the hands to face the left hand side of the mat. And you can do those same movements, same cat-cows on this side. Good, make this your last one. And then bring those hands back to center, back to face the top of your mat. Step your right foot back behind you, land it on its toes. Hips are nice and square, firm those inner thighs, draw navel to spine. And then maybe pick that back right foot up off the ground. And then option to stretch that left arm forwards. You're taking that bird dog variation. Take a breath here. On your next exhale, bend right knee out to the side and left arm out to the side. Hold it there, take a breath. And then step your right foot out to the right hand side. Left hand comes down to the left side and right arm to the ceiling. So you're coming to this modified side plank. Make sure that left arm's in a nice long line with your shoulder. I want you to flex into your right foot as you start to lift that right foot up off the ground. And then lower it down. You're going to do 4 more taps at your own pace. Keep on breathing. 3, 2, last one. Lowering your foot back down to the mat. Right hand comes back down as well. As you walk your fingertips all the way over to the right hand side, you're going to stretch those fingertips away from you as you soften your chest and your head. Really think about stretching those left fingertips away from you here. Getting that nice deep stretch into that left hand side of your body. Wonderful. Lifting your head as you walk yourself back to center, slide yourself to all fours and take a child's pose, sending the hips to the heels, resting the forehead down, maybe creating a pillow for the forehead, or you can keep those arms stretched out, up to you. And just taking a couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, lift your head, come back to all fours. And we're going to swap sides. Step left foot back behind you, land it on its toes. Take a moment to find that stability, draw navel to spine, hips are nice and square to the mat. Then maybe reach that right arm forwards, picking that left leg up into the air. Come to that bird dog, take a breath. Press the back heel away from you. On your next exhale, bend left knee out to the side, right arm out to the side. Hold it there for a breath. And then stretch left foot out towards the left hand side. Right hand comes down, left arm to the ceiling, coming to that modified side plank variation. You're going to start to flex into the left toes as you lift the left leg into the air. And then tap it back down to the ground. Lifting it into the air and tapping it down. You've got 3 more. Two. And 1. Lower the left foot down. Left hand comes down. Walk those fingertips over towards the left hand side, stretching them away from you as you soften your chest, your head, reaching those right fingertips away. Nice full breath. Good. Lift your head, walk yourself back to center, sliding yourself back to all fours. And just take a little rock around in circles, side to side, just to stretch out those wrists. Feel free to change up the variation of the wrists. Maybe fingertips face the edges or all the way around towards you. Whatever's feeling good for you today. Good. When you're ready, fingertips to face the top of the mat, tuck your toes, come to a downward facing dog, sending the hips up and back. Pedaling through those legs, wiggling the hips side to side. Just doing some nice soft movements here. When you're ready, take a full breath in your downward facing dog. And inhale, step or walk feet to the top. Halfway lift, flat back, reach forwards with crown. Exhale, soften and fold over the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, swoop the arms tall to the ceiling, rising up. Exhale, soften and fold over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend knees, plant hands, step back, take your vinyasa, either using your knees to help you or not. Inhale to cobra, upward facing dog. And as you exhale, coming back to your downward facing dog. Take a big breath here. Inhale, step or walk feet to the top. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, bend knees, swoop arms tall to ceiling, rising up. Exhale, soften and fold all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend knees, plant hands, step back, high plank, take your vinyasa again, and I'll meet you in downward facing dog. Inhale to cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Well done. Big breath here. Exhale, knees lower to the mat, all fours. Twizzle your left foot out behind you, step right foot back onto its sole and come to that modified side plank again, reaching right arm to the ceiling. Good. From here, we're going to see if we can guide this right foot all the way towards the top of our mat. So I want you to pick your right foot up into the air. Bend into the right knee as you slowly guide it towards the top of your mat. Right fingertips come down in front of you or to your block towards the right hand side slightly. You're going to send weight into right leg, left leg into the air, opening into your half moon, left arm to the ceiling. Don't worry about how high you're lifting that back leg. Wonderful. Press that left heel away from you. Start to bend into your left knee, drawing it towards your chest. As you pop a slight bend into the right knee as well, you're going to rise yourself to standing. Don't worry if you fall. Nice and slow, left knee into the chest. Interlace those hands around the left knee. Gaze in front of you. Don't worry if you fall, just slowly bring yourself back. Perfect. Right hand to the outside of the knee. Inhale, left arm stretches up. And as you exhale, reach the left arm behind, opening into a twist. Come back to center nice and slow. Guide your left foot back behind you, land it to face the long side. Open up to your warrior two. Just briefly inhale. And exhale, reverse your warrior. Right fingertips overhead. Inhale there. Exhale, extended side angle, right forearm to thigh. Left arm stretches over. Maybe you're going to take it deeper. Right hand towards the inside of the foot. Chest nice and open to the side. Windmill, left hand down towards the ground. Pivot right arm towards the ceiling, squaring those hips off, squeezing those inner thighs. Think about drawing that right hip back slightly. Good. From here, you're going to pivot all 10 toes towards the right-hand side of your mat, coming into that revolved skandasana, picking up through the hips. Option to stay here, getting that nice stretch into the outer hip, or you can step this right foot behind, coming into your wild thing. So landing it on its ball, lifting up through the hips and the chest, rooting down through your foundations. Don't worry about how high you're lifting here. Take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, bend into both knees. I'll meet you back in downward facing dog. Wherever you are, just slowly making your way back to your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Lower the knees to the mat, come to all fours. We're going to go through that again, but on the other side. So Pivot that right foot out behind you, left foot steps onto its sole, and left arm to the ceiling, modified side plank. Start to pick up through that left foot, bend into the left knee as we guide it to the top of the mat. Left fingertips come down or to your block or book, out to the left hand side. Start to send weight into left leg, right leg into the air, opening into that half moon. Take your time in getting there. Don't worry if that back leg's not lifted very high. Doesn't need to be, doesn't matter where it is. Breathing there. Start to bend into your right knee towards your chest. Soft bend into left knee as well as you slowly rise to standing. Taking your time, wobbles are welcome. Just taking your time to get there. Knee comes into chest, take an interlace. Standing nice and tall. Left hand to the outside of knee. Inhale, right arm stretches up. Exhale, right arm stretches behind, opening into your twist. Stretching those fingertips away. Exhale, come back to center. Guide right foot back behind you. Land it to face long side. Inhale, open up, warrior two. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Take an inhale. Exhale, extended side angle, left forearm to thigh, right arm over, or left hand towards the inside of your foot. Windmill right arm down to the mat. Left arm to the ceiling. Square those hips off. Squeeze those inner thighs. Start to turn all 10 toes to the left hand side of your mat, picking up through the hips. Option to stay here or to step that left foot behind. Land it on its ball, opening up into your wild thing. Beautiful. Big breath. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend into your knees. And wherever you are, make it back to downward facing dog. Well done. Full breath. Walk your hands towards the back of the mat to your feet. Heels face in, toes face out, lower down to your malasana, your yogi squat. Hands to prayer at the heart center, lifting up through the chest, find that length. Right hand's going to come across to the ankle or the shin as your left arm reaches over. And then swapping sides, come back to center. Right arm reaches over. Exhale, release, come back to center, level yourself all the way down to seated and bring the soles of your feet to touch. In that nice wide diamond shape, knees knock out wide to the side. Rest your hands where it's comfortable for you. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, you can soften and fold towards your feet, just to the best of your ability, to where feels good. You can close down your eyes. You can soften your jaw. Inhale, make your way back up to seated. Soles of the feet come to the mat and come down to lying on your back. Knees draw in towards the chest. Relax the arms to cactus arms on the floor. Knees lower to the right hand side. Take the gaze to the ceiling or to the left hand. To come into those supine twists. To start to close off your practice today. Coming back to center, knees drop over to left hand side, changing the size of your twist. Letting those thigh bones become heavy. Your gaze to soften or your eyes to close. And your breathing to start to relax. Taking 2 more breaths. Coming back to center, lengthening your legs out nice and long, reaching your arms above your head. Take a nice long deep stretch, point your toes, stretch your fingers away. Big breath in. And relax, big breath out. Rolling yourself onto the side of your body, coming into a fetal position. Just taking a moment here to relax. And using both your hands to help you make your way up to a comfortable seated position of your choice on your mat. Lengthening through your spine, sitting nice and tall. Let the shoulders soften down the back. Taking a full breath in. Full breath out. And you can blink open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me today.